What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new miniseries Transatlantic. First up, I would like to say thank you to Netflix for granting me the screeners to this entire new limited series. They've asked me to not spill spoilers, therefore this review is spoiler free. I repeat, there are no spoilers in this video review. Okay, so a few of the characters on this show are based on actual historical figures. Some of them were even honored by Israel as righteous among nations for their effort in helping the Jews escape the Holocaust during World War II. What I'm getting at is, this could have been a great historical biopic miniseries, and to a certain extent, Transatlantic does have a number of great qualities that I enjoy, which includes the fact that it presents this particular period piece in a rather lively, colorful tone with a warm and bright setting of a countryside. But Transatlantic is also a case in which a lot of its elements backfire. It stems from the writers taking too much creative license in terms of the character dynamics and the romantic relationships. I mean, what could have been a riveting, deeply affecting drama about rescuing Jewish people turns into a tepid, rudderless spy thriller that ultimately minimizes not just the themes, but also the two lead protagonists who are supposed to be sort of like the Oscar Schindler of this specific story. Too many things about Transatlantic that just keep working against itself, and it's unable to make up its mind on what sort of drama it wants to be. Okay, so Transatlantic is created and showrun by Anna Winger. The story is set in 1940-1941 and shot entirely on location in Marseille, France. Transatlantic is inspired by Julie Oringer's novel about the Emergency Rescue Committee, the flight portfolio, and by the true story of the late great Varian Fry. Risking their lives to help more than 2,000 refugees escape occupied France, including many artists and writers on the Nazis' most wanted list, this international gang of young heroes and their famous charges occupy a villa at the edge of the city where the threat of mortal danger gives way to unexpected collaborations and intense love affairs. Starring Corey Michael Smith as Varian Fry, Gillian Jacobs as Mary Jane Gold, and Lucas Englander as Albert Hirschman. Okay, let's go through some of the positives. I mentioned the tone earlier. And one of the other things that I also enjoy is the use of multiple languages and the casting of actors who can actually speak those languages fluently. I don't mind that the show is not consistently in English all the way through. Plus, it helps in emphasizing the point that even though these characters are Jewish refugees, but they keep mentioning that their homes are places like Germany and France. Home is where they grew up in and where they've adopted their language, but now they no longer have that identity. There are a total of 7 episodes. Each runs about an hour long, and at the end of every episode, the credit roll is displayed in this sort of classic square frame aspect ratio, which I admit is quirky, but they also kind of take away from the gravity of the situation when you want to leave with a riveting moment instead. You can tell that the show frequently wants to lighten the mood so as to inject a glimmer of hope, if you will. These many people spending so much time in an abandoned villa together for so long, they're bound to make some kind of connection, right? Some of it are helpful, some of it are not, and some of it are just pointless. An argument can understandably be made that 7 episodes are way too many, and many of the subplots are distracting. Which leads me to the most devastating point, which I kind of hinted earlier, and that is, well, let me put it this way. Corey plays Varian Fry, and Gillian plays Mary Jane Gold. Both Varian Fry and Mary Jane Gold, if you look them up online, you'll find them to be two extraordinary human beings who risk their own safety just to save European Jewish refugees. But that aspect is not powerfully explored to its fullest potential in Transatlantic. because it all drowns and gets tangled up in bureaucracy struggle, melancholic affairs, and a very irritating espionage. I mean, I understand, I get it. I get that the writers probably think that they had to add on all this other stuff just to make a good drama, but they forget one of the great common rules out there, which is less is more. Or at least in this case, it should have been. And so, because of that, instead of leading, Mary Jane and Varian often find themselves chasing their own tails or stumbling, hardly keeping up with the supporting characters. No offense to Gillian Jacobs and Corey Michael Smith. I'm sure they're perfectly nice people, but they are sorely miscast in these respective roles. Gillian specifically more than often looks like a deer caught in the headlights, and Corey struggles in exuding some of Varian's vulnerable moments. I mean, I give both actors credit in wanting to take this on, but by episodes 4 or 5, you can kind of clearly see that they are way out of their depth. So let's keep it real. A couple of other much more compelling actors could have done a better job despite the problematic or less than perfect scripts. So overall, I give Transatlantic miniseries the ratings of 2.5 out of 5. The show has several notable aspects, but not enough to make up for everything else about it that frankly are just straight up disappointing. Transatlantic means well, but you can't ride on good intentions alone. So that's it. That's my review of Transatlantic. Share this video with everyone you know. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this.